Hi guys, welcome back to the Main Road Expedition. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our opening league game in the Northern Premier League Premier Division against Macclesfield at home, and we also have our transfer special in what could be a very long and difficult season. Incidentally, we have actually played Macclesfield in a pre-season game. We lost by a goal to nil. It was quite a hard-fought game, but we just couldn't come out of it on the right side. We've had a decent pre-season. We played a few bigger games as such, largely just for the financial gain from them. But other than that, we've played teams that are in lower leagues, really, and we've been reasonably comfortable. FC United, we managed to get a 2-1 win over. They are our rivals, and they are also in this league. So that is like a City and United derby, just at a much lower level. But going into this season, as I was saying, it is going to be a tough one. We have made new signings and we've lost a number of players as well. It has been a difficult transfer window. But as you can see, we have to keep going all the way down. And we are one of the favourites, unfortunately, for relegation. Lancaster got promoted with us. They have actually turned themselves into a professional side now. They're not semi-pro like we are. There's a number of teams that are semi-pro at this level. But it could put us at a slight disadvantage, and we'll just have to see how things go. In relation to the transfer window, like I say, it has been a bit of a difficult one. We did manage to keep the core of the team together, but a number of players have left. So in terms of players that, from the first team, Brad Abbott got released on a free transfer, as did JJ O'Donnell, Asa Hughes, Joe Collins, Tommy Grindrod, Abel Alabe, Conan Noble, Greg Bevan, Milan Burnett as well. And the rest of them were other youth prospects that just didn't really have much of a future here, really. One or two of them I did want to keep, but when you look at the likes of Joe Collins, he's actually joined Lancaster, but because they've turned professional, obviously they can afford a lot more in relation of wages, etc. £1,300 a week he's on there. That is a remarkable amount of money, and that equates to probably more than a quarter of our wage budget, I think. Let me have a look a minute. There we go. Yeah, so our whole wage budget is £3,200. Is £3,400. Sorry. Between Joe Collins and their striker at Lancaster, they're paying out 3,500 just for the two players, and that's our complete wage budget for a full squad. So you can imagine the kind of level of difference that we're looking at. But in the way of actual transfers, like I say, it has been a difficult one. We did release all those players because they were largely fringe players, and unfortunately for replacements, we've struggled to bring in the quality. We've been interested in a lot of different guys, but they just didn't want to drop down to our level, unfortunately. And they're the kind of players that we were looking at to really get this squad to take a step up in quality. But of course, because of the finances, we can't upgrade training or youth facilities at all. I can't even upgrade myself in the way of coaching badges either, and experience and stuff. So I'm in a position where I'm still classed as a Sunday League experienced person, and I can't do any coaching badges. So it's been very difficult to progress in the transfer market for sure. But we have, as you can see, made 7 signings. We've tried to exploit the loan market as well. There's not enough quality out there either. As you can see, we've made a few deals in terms of going out, but they're all loan deals. The brightest prospect that we have, Peter Gilmartin, he's gone out on loan, but again, I don't think he's going to amount to too much at the football club. But again, we'll just have to be patient and wait and see. We've largely strengthened in the midfield, obviously with the likes of Abbott and JJ O'Donnell and one or two others as well, all leaving the club. Midfield was a big, big hole, as was centre back, because we only had Furtado and Adewoju as our recognised centre backs. So we've largely strengthened around those areas, but we'll see how things go. Akil Raymond, you may recognise from earlier in the save, he's actually a 2.5-star quality player at this level. He has returned to the club. So originally we actually signed him in our first season in charge, and he didn't really set the world alight, to be honest. And when he left, he actually played very regularly for Runcorn Town and Brickhouse. So he came in on a free transfer, again, largely to be a backup. Job Townrow has come in as a 19-year-old attacking midfielder slash striker. He's not going to play up front with a finishing of 4, but he's certainly got that ability in central midfield at 2.5 star of current ability in that central midfield. He's got good passing and technique. His vision's decent, good off the ball work. He's quite an exciting type central midfield player as well. And with decent fitness and good pace as well, he could be a player that does quite well for us in terms of exciting the fans a little bit when he gets a chance to play. Joe Gascoigne, we managed to bring in on a free transfer from Widnes. Originally, he was showing as a 3-star player. I quite rate him, to be honest. He does look quite good. First touch, technique and passing, quite good in terms of his technical attributes. As you can see, his mental attributes largely are also very strong, very determined character. His fitness isn't great, and it is a downside. And he is only 5'7", so he's not going to win too many aerial battles, depending on whether he's playing in central midfield or in the holding midfield. But again, hopefully he will be able to come in and do a good job for us. Solomon Yusuf has come in. He can play in central midfield, and as you can see, he's a very good central midfield type player. Ball winning midfielder, which I don't understand because he's not very good at tackling. Personally, he's going to be in and around the right wing, I think. He's got good pace, and he's quite a strong lad as well. Good stamina, fairly determined character, but it's that work rate that I'm looking at. 16 for work rate, really, really good stuff. And again, hopefully, he will certainly be a key player for us this season. And we then brought in these 3 guys. We were really desperate for centre backs and another striker to act as backup. I tried so hard to bring in first team quality, but it was very, very difficult. Jack O'Connor's a 26-year-old centre back. He's classed as an emergency backup. He's only 2-star current ability, but to be quite honest, I quite like him. He's not the quickest or the strongest. He's 6'4" though. Fairly determined character, decent defensive attributes, especially with his positioning, marking and tackling. And decision making and aggression in the challenge are quite strong as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on him where his aggression's concerned for sure. But his decision making is quite good. So hopefully it will certainly help his cause going forward. Liam Potter's another one, 25 years of age. Again, centre back, 2-star of current ability. Again, he's not going to light up the world, but he's 6'3", and again, we want big lads at the back. He's not the strongest either, but really good natural fitness, and his jumping reach is very good as well. So he could be a very useful player from set pieces. His tackling is excellent, as is his determination. He's classed as a very good leader as well. Positioning, marking, and heading, not the greatest, but again, he's in as as a last-ditch backup. And we brought in Scott McCarthy as a reserve striker. He's a 30-year-old striker. He's only 2-star of current ability, and he's not going to improve either. But the main reason I signed him, he's got good work rate, decent with his teamwork, good determination. Yes, his finishing is only a 6. He's not a good finisher, but his pace is 16. He will get in behind defences, and I think he could be a very useful backup to Argent Tor. So, with that in mind, we go into today's game, I think, to be honest, with a decent sized squad. We've got enough cover across the pitch, in my opinion. We've got 23 players in at the moment. Amiego, unfortunately, is suspended for this opening league game, so he will miss out today. But um, if I was really critical, I think maybe an improvement out wide would be useful, but I don't think we're going to be able to get one in. We've only got a couple of £100 left in our wage budget, so it doesn't really make sense to go out and attempt to splash out even more money on a player that we're not entirely sure will do the job. Um, Going into the season, obviously, we're favourites to finish around 20th place. If we can maintain a place in and around this bottom half of the table, I would be quite happy. But it is going to be an extremely tough season, in my opinion. And we're just going to have to hope for the best, I think, and see what happens. We're going with McGee in goal, Keeling, Furtado, Adewoju and Bates at the back, Gascoigne, Williams and Townrow getting a debut in that central midfield, Norton, Yusuf and Tor as the front three. And we've got O'Connor, McCarthy and Potter on the bench as well. I feel like we might need somebody else in there, to be honest. I think a fullback would probably be better on the bench instead of Liam Potter. But again, we probably need a winger on there as well. But I think, to be honest, going into this game with that team, yeah, we're going to struggle this season. But if we can at least develop these players, they're playing against much better teams, obviously. And if the players can develop despite our poor training facilities, we could be in with a chance of staying up. We've had 3 consecutive promotions. Everything's happened very, very quickly. And unfortunately, the club itself is falling behind that progress. So it's going to be tough, but we'll have to just look at it and see how we do. Like I say, we lost against Macclesfield 1-0 in a pre-season game. So going into a competitive fixture, yes, we're at home as well, so that could be at our advantage, but playing the way we do could leave us open against these much more experienced teams. But we'll just have to see how things go. Early on, I'd be quite happy with a draw, but we'll see how we do. Early suggestions would definitely say that we are going to be in and around. It's very, very tight at the moment. We're getting information coming through from the other league for the other league's games, so we need to sort that out. Here's Keeler Dunn. Whips it into the penalty area. There's Douglas, punched away by McGee. It's come out to Hardy. Keeler Dunn fires it off the woodwork. And that was a very dangerous opportunity. I've just paused it for a moment. I just need to sort out where's our league? Is that ours? Yep, that's the one that we're after. So we're back up and running again. And Keeler Dunn, again with a free kick, whips it in, looking for Ackroyd. It's cleared away. Hardy picks it up. Jack Williams into Gascoigne. Iron Tor. I mean, he's nodded it on, but he's got nobody in support there. And now Vaughan into Giwa. Vaughan into Ackroyd now. Looking over the top. Hardy picks it up on this right side. It's a first-time cross. Bates clears straight back to Hardy, though. And we're struggling to get it away again. But we continue to hold on a little here. And I mean, we were strong throughout the season, despite that mid-season wobble that we had. Here's Townrow looking for Tor, and it's well intercepted by Proctor, who clears. Here's Furtado. We need to be good at home this season. There's no doubt in my mind that we need to be good at home. And Darren Norton, played in by Keeling, has managed to give us our first goal in our first game here at this level ever. And that is a very, very good start. We've been up against it a little bit here in this first half. But if we can take our chances like that, I mean, I'm not sure if it was a defensive error or not, but Norton really did finish it well into the bottom corner. He was a very key player for us last season, and he's setting himself up to be just that once again. I didn't expect to be ahead, I must admit, but we have certainly grown into this game as the first half has gone on, and it's very, very positive. But we've got to be on point in every game this season. We cannot rest on any laurels this season. So we go into this second half now, and at 1-0, yeah, it's very, very close. And Macclesfield, to be fair, probably deserve to be at least level, if not ahead themselves. So we really have got to be tightly congested here. And have we got it away? Just about clearing there is Adewoju. Goal scramble there. Wasn't too sure what was happening, but we just about managed to sort out. Macclesfield disrupting the play a little bit, it would seem. We've had 2 yellow cards ourselves with our fullbacks, but they've had 4 yellow cards so far. So we could be in for a decent opportunity. O'Connor is going to come on for his debut. Furtado really struggling for fitness at the moment. Solomon Yusuf is also struggling, but we haven't actually got a winger on the bench. And Argent Tor's not done anything really today. I think what we're going to do is we'll take Argent Tour off for Scott McCarthy, and Jack Williams is struggling as well, so we'll get Tom Little on as well. It'd be interesting to see how Tom Little gets on. He missed out on a lot of football for us last season. He just didn't break into the side really. But we offered him a new deal. Likewise with the likes of Margie Simmons, Ben Houston as well. Everyone's going to get an opportunity at this level. But I tell you what, if we can keep this to the end of this match, we will do extremely well. Here's Proctor looking over the top for Rolt. Bates can't get there. It's squared and O'Connor clears. Yusuf nods it away to the halfway line where it's Wilson now. Lofts it over the top. Bates clears. Keeler done. Just about keeps it in. Yusuf sliding in. He's on a yellow card as well. Keeling clears. Townrow can't get it away. Rolt's there off the post. And Adewoju clears. A free kick has been given. Rolt was offside. And it's been an extremely even game. But my word, what a start. We've come out with the 3 points. Number of attempts at goal. Number of attempts on target. Possession. All very, very even in the overall match statistics. But Darren Norton with such a key goal in that first half. And we've come away with 3 points here. And that certainly gives us something to build on, doesn't it? I wasn't expecting to win against Macclesfield following the pre-season game. But that is a very good start. Certainly something that we can build on going forward. And yeah, very, very impressed with the side. I think the fact that we've kept a clean sheet as well is a big confidence boost, because toward the end of last season, we did struggle for clean sheets on and off as well. So, very positive signs. And the back four is pretty much the exact same as what we had last season. So, they've done the step up, and we've kept a clean sheet in our opening game. We have beaten Macclesfield by a goal to nil, thanks to Darren Norton. Stockbridge scoring for Lancaster. Lancaster's going to be the team that we're looking at for most of the season, I think, because they came up with us, of course. Stockbridge, we almost signed him, but Lancaster offered him double what we could. He actually accepted a contract from us, but they offered him double the amount of money, and we just can't compete with teams like that. But really, really happy with that. Really good start. And we look to push on from here. There's going to be a number of games that we're going to get through before the next episode. I'll double check the fixtures momentarily, and we'll just have a gander and see what's what there. We've actually got another 5 league games to get through before we get to an FA Cup qualifying round tie. So I think, to be fair, what I might do is I'll get through those 5 league games, and we'll come back for for the FA Cup tie. It's actually on the same day as an Ashington game there. I don't know if the Ashington game will get moved forward or backwards, but we'll have to wait and see. Ashton United will be a little bit of a derby type game for me. I used to live very close to Ashton, so that is going to be quite an important game from a personal perspective. So I think, to be fair, get them 5 games out of the way, come back for the FA Cup, and it might be Chorley. I don't know when the Ashington game will get moved to, because we've got games every few days in the month of September. It's going to be an extremely congested month, that one. But we'll see how we get on, and certainly be back for the FA Cup. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.